Everybody wants to know how I get along in these dark days since you've been gone. Sometimes I'm fine, sometimes I'm tired, stumbling through one step at a time. I have good.
A little blues music to bring us in, I think appropriately for this section, because I've got Bruce Wheeler. You're listening, by the way, to Butch Maxwell's Complete Waste of Airtime, and you're wasting it with me here on WKKX and WVLY. And Bruce Wheeler, who is the man who created the Wheeling Heritage Music Blues Festival and runs it for now 20 years, is here, and we're back.
Well, Butch, does that mean that this is a waste of my time?
I hope not. I hope that that I named it that just out of a sense of irony, and also so that I don't have to live up to too much. So,
well, that's good. I do the same thing. And I have to say that every time I'm on with Lola on the board, I hear things that even I don't know.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Who was
Lola?
that? Yeah.
Coco Montoya.
That was Coco.
Yeah.
New album?
Let me see.
Probably something they're going to hear at the Blues Fest.
Yeah, Never Give Up is the name of the album.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That was great.
You know who I played last hour?
And a lot of people don't know, sometimes in the blues world, people don't know the names, but they know the music and they feel the music.
Yeah.
And like Coco got his start like a lot of other guitar players that ended up doing their own thing as a guitar player for John Mayall.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And most people don't realize the first guitar player for John Mayall was this guy that nobody has heard about, Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton, yes. And you had mail here, too, didn't
Yes,
you? Yeah, you
John's
had like
been
one
here.
of the first years, I think.
John's been here a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, the Blues Fest really, it's kind of a pleasure to go on the Blues Fest website, heritagemusicfest.com, and you can go and see past lineups.
Yeah.
And, people say, well, when are you ever going to have Joe Bonamassa? Because he's at the top of the heap right now.
Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah, we had him in year 3. And, it's the number of people that I've been pleased to meet, from the old superstars like Hubert Sumlin and Willie Big Eyes Smith and just the Buddy Guy, et cetera, and the new up and comers that one of the things that I got very excited about, I saw on Facebook and reposted. Warren Haynes, who people know from Government Mule and his own project and the Allman Brothers Band, just went on and on talking about this new young guitar player. He said, there's a lot of really great guitar players out there. He said, but there's only a few that really develop their own style. They become the Stevie Ray Vaughns.
Yeah.
They become those kind of people. And our opening act this year on Friday night at 5 o'clock is Davey Knowles. And Warren Haynes says he's the next generation of great guitar players.
Wow.
And that's what I like to do with the festival.
Yeah.
Is like bring in these people in the early times.
Yeah.
So that people say, well, I got to see them win.
Yeah. That's fantastic. And he's going to kick off the festival then, right?
He's kicking off the festival, and he's also closing that night in our after jam.
In the after jam, and that's at.
Well, right now it's up in the air.
Okay.
Right now it's up in the air. We have a new sponsorship from Rockspeed Development, and Rockspeed Development is the recent purchaser of the McClure Hotel.
Yes.
And they were supposed to close on that deal probably almost 2.5, 3 months ago, and it didn't happen until about 2 weeks ago.
No. Okay.
So now they are.
That's why they've been painting out there and stuff like that.
They're painting, they're changing, they're on a hustle to get it ready for Blues Fest.
Yeah.
But one of the things that sometimes you can't hustle along is that temporary liquor license.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And after drinking beer and wine at the Blues Fest all day,
Right.
which we want people to do, we
Yeah.
want them to drink their Yingling beer,
Right.
which is another
And then walk
sponsor.
to their destination.
And then walk to their destination, or call an Uber.
Right.
You know,
Uber's good, yeah.
get a designated driver, and a lot of them want to go somewhere and have a glass of liquor.
Sure.
And so that's what we're trying to get done at the
McClure, if
McClure.
possible.
And if so, that's where the After Jam is going to be.
Okay.
If that fails to happen,
Mm-hmm.
I really have to hand it to Jason Miller down at River City. And
Yeah.
I went to him and I said, Jason, you've been good to me over the years. And I hate to ask you this, but if the license doesn't come through, can you be my backup?
Yeah.
So there will be an After Jam.
Good,
We're just
good.
not sure where
All
yet.
right. Yeah. And it has been at River City in past years.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
yeah,
And
yeah.
River City is a marvelous host for that.
Yeah.
And so, but they will they're coming to the Blues Fest as a vendor.
Good.
They had in 2019 wonderful crab cakes, and they're
yeah.
going to have those again.
Great. I love their crab cakes.
So,
Good.
that all looks good. Right now, we're too far out for
Yeah.
weather, but
Yeah.
the weather looks like it's going to be
It's looking
nice.
great. It's
Yeah.
looking like there's not, I mean, according to my sources on my iPhone here, it looks like everything's going to be good,
Of course, in 2016, I think the weekend looked really good, and
Mm-hmm.
Lolo probably will attest that on Sunday, I was on stage announcing an act,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Everybody's
everyone's
phone.
cell phone alert
Oh,
went off
no.
in the audience.
Yeah.
And there was a tornado coming.
Oh, geez. You had to clear out then.
We had to clear out.
Well, you know what I did? I ran down and got my cooler and made sure I hit it.
We had to clear the venue, safety first. But luckily, and usually they're not open on Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
This happened on
Yep.
Sunday afternoon,
Yeah.
but it was a very hot weekend. And Jason said he was going to stay open at River City in case someone wanted to come over, get some air conditioning, have a cold beer,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
come back to the Blues Fest, et cetera. And so we ended up shifting our acts from the Heritage Port to River City.
No kidding.
And then brought them back
Wow.
once the weather cleared.
It was
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
It really was awesome. I mean, that was like taking lemons and making lemonade.
That's
really
exactly.
was.
incredible.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Well,
the
we
work.
were having this torrential downpour, and I looked to my left, and there was the act that was ready to go on in the next hour.
Yeah.
And I looked and I went, well, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to play here. We've got equipment over there for our After Jam. Do you want to go over there and play?
Yeah.
And so they did.
That's
and,
great,
And the next act followed them at River City. Then we came back and did 2 acts here, following up with, I think, one of the most incredible performances that I've ever seen was Butch Trucks and the Freight Train Band.
Oh, Butch Trucks from
the Allman Brothers
Band. Yeah.
And that had
The only other rock and roller I know named Butch, by the way.
that had Damon Fowler, had a couple other guitar players involved, had Barry Oakley's Jr. on bass.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so in my opinion, it was an Allman Brothers set without anyone named Allman.
Named Allman. Yeah, that's fantastic. That might be the best way. I'm not sure. I like Greg Allman. But, so you've got a lot. Coco Montoya is playing.
Yes.
And that's incredible. I'm not familiar with some of these, but I think that's probably the case with a lot of the listeners. We may not know the artist, but we're going to know.
One of the people on Friday that's an absolute stellar standout is Carolyn Wonderland.
Okay.
Carolyn
She's been
Wonderland is
here.
out of Austin, Texas. Just signed a major record deal with Alligator Records, the epitome of blues records. And it'll be coming out in October, so I'm sure we're going to get a sampling of that new record from Carolyn. She's been a guitar player for the last 3 years. who's been out there with John Mayall
Wow.
and the Blues Breakers.
Really?
Yes.
What cred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then on the break, you talked about Soulful Femme we
Yes.
have on Saturday.
Yes, I heard them.
They're
live.
really shaking things up.
Yeah.
They're out of Pittsburgh,
Are they? Okay, good.
and they're a replacement.
Okay.
Most of these acts I had booked for 2020.
Yeah.
And of course, COVID hit. We
Yeah.
couldn't do that. And so I reached out, and almost everyone said that they would come back. The act that would have been in that place was the IBC winner, Hector Anchondo, who's from New Mexico. And he took a gig out west because trying to get all the way to Wheeling and
Yeah.
get back again and pay the bills
Right, yeah, that's
on what I pay them
Yeah.
for that opening slot
Sure.
is not necessarily a good thing.
Well, they what I heard of their show, the Soulful Femme show, was amazing. That there's a female guitarist that
Yes.
was just incredible.
Yes,
You know?
she is Cheryl Revinato.
that who it is? Okay,
is
yeah,
her name,
yeah.
and she is phenomenal.
So that's noon on Saturday. For the
Noon
city.
on Saturday is when we kick off.
Yeah.
The music kicks off at 5 o'clock on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Gates open an hour before, unless you have bought a canopy permit.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, having a canopy at the Blues Fest has become a popular thing.
Oh yeah.
To the point where we had to try to control it somehow because it's a west-facing venue.
Right.
Sun's in your face,
Right.
et cetera. People want to put up canopies.
Yeah.
And so now, if you have a canopy permit, you get on site 2 hours ahead of time.
Yeah, I have a friend
Starting
who's got
at
that.
2
Yeah.
o'clock.
I have a friend who's got. I'm sitting with him.
There you go. There you go. The music, as I said, the music starts at 5 o'clock on Friday. Gates will open to anyone without a canopy at 4. On Saturday, the music starts at noon. Gates open at 11. Okay. And on Sunday, the music starts at 1, with the gates opening an hour before at noon. Couple highlights, if you want me to give you some
Please
highlights.
do. Yes. Yes.
There's an act at 3 o'clock on Saturday called Gumbo Grits and Gravy.
I played them in the last hour. I love them. It's like Zydeco.
Zydeco,
Oh my God, it's
but bluesy in the same.
Well,
vein.
and you're an actor. I'm sure you know Ossie Davis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ossie Davis's son is Guy Davis,
Really?
who is the leader of Gumbo Grits and Gravy.
Wow.
Guy is also an actor.
Yeah.
Does a lot of single one-person shows talking about blues, et cetera, different things like that.
Very cool.
But that's with Guy is kind of your traditional blues artist. That's with Ann Harris, who's an incredible jazz fiddler. That's involved there, and Marcella Simeon, who is a Cajun, plays accordion. So it's a really, really
raucous.
fun act.
Yeah. Gumbo Grits and Gravy.
Gumbo
3
Grits and
o'clock on
Gravy.
Saturday.
Also, a new up-and-comer. Most people have not heard of this woman yet because she's 17.
Okay.
Hannah Wicklund.
Okay. Yeah.
Hannah Wicklund is a rockin' blues phenom, originally from California. Now she's living out in Nashville, and so she's coming back. And probably the closer, well, it is the closer, Ronnie Earl and the Broadcasters. Ronnie Earl was the original guitar player for Room Full of Blues. And the guitar players in the blues world have these masters that they look to.
And he's one.
Ronnie Earl is one of those.
Is that right?
And Ronnie Earl usually doesn't tour a lot.
Okay.
And this is the first time he's come to Wheeling.
Well, congratulations on that. Is there any relation to Steve or?
No,
No. Okay.
Not at all. And opening on Sunday is an act called Hirojo Trio. They were the IBC winners in 2019, which then got their slot in 2020.
Yeah.
They're from Canada.
Okay.
Their guitar player, J.W. Jones, is usually right up there winning a Juno Blues Award or any of the thing for guitar in Canada.
Wow.
And JW said, we're coming in on Saturday night because I need to see Ronnie.
Oh, yeah. All right. There you go. What a testimony for that. That's
Yeah,
great.
and JW won not only did the band win for the best band at the IBC in 2019, JW was awarded the best guitarist
Wow.
through, and the IBC is one of these things that 200 plus acts from all over the world converge on Memphis and compete for these positions.
Wow. Wow. That's
which
the
is-
International Blues.
International Blues
Blues
Challenge.
Challenge. Okay, yeah.
IBC. We also have on Sunday a lot of combo acts.
Mm-hmm.
We have Roof Records Blues Caravan. Roof Records is a European blues label based out of the Netherlands.
Really?
Excuse me. And Thomas Roof is the head of that. And this act he put together for 2020. There's another one for 2021, but I said, no, I want the ones I had for
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
And that's Jeremiah Johnson, who's an incredible solo performer in his own right.
I saw his movie. No, I'm kidding.
I knew you'd come
Yeah,
up with
I'd have
that.
to say
I
that.
just, I know it.
Whitney Shea and Ryan Perry. Ryan Perry used to be, now I'm not going to remember, was a family act. I can't remember the name, but they're all now individual artists in their own right. They have their own band. They tour under their own name, but this is the Blues Caravan. So you're getting three acts in one.
That's good. That's incredible. So that's on Sunday afternoon.
That's on Sunday. Following that up is J.P. Soares' Gypsy Blues Review. And J.P. Soares is out of Florida. J.P. is kind of this guitar player that has an affinity for Django Reinhardt.
Okay, yeah.
He does that kind of gypsy feel
Yeah.
and everything that he does. And JP has put together this Gypsy Blues Review with, in my opinion, the best harmonica player
Jason Rishi.
out there
Yes,
today.
Jason Rishi.
Jason
Amazing.
is-
He's amazing.
And a great guy.
Yeah.
He is a great guy. He's also on Saturday.
Yeah,
with
I saw.
another
I
act,
noticed
but-
that. I've seen him in. Is he from Pittsburgh or? Is he-
No, Jason's New Orleans.
Okay, but I've seen him in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
a few
if
times.
you go to Jason's website, you'll see a lot of Saints paraphernalia.
Yeah,
He's a
okay.
New Orleans hardcore guy.
Yeah, okay,
you know,
yeah.
And Ann Harris, who with Gumbo Grits and Gravy,
Okay,
is also part of the J.P. Soares Gypsy Blues Review.
that's very cool. So it's going to be kind of all mixing it all up then.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the new replacements this year, we had two acts that, actually three that couldn't come. One of those was Walter Trout.
Oh yeah.
I knew it.
Walter does a lot of his dates in Europe, actually more dates in Europe than he does in the U.S. And just decided that with travel restrictions and all of those things over
Yeah.
the summer, that he was going to spend all summer in Europe.
yeah.
So we had to replace Walter, and we actually replaced Walter with somebody else from the same agency. But in my mind, I had to replace a rock and blues guitar player
Yeah.
with a rock and blues guitar player.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was Anna Popovich.
Really? Anna Popovich.
Anna
This just keeps
Popovich.
getting better and better and better. I'm
Anna
not kidding.
Popovich is absolutely incredible. Plus, really nice eye candy for the men.
Yes, I remember. I remember
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
When was she here? Was she here 3 years ago or something?
It's been longer
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah,
It's been
I
a
think
while
so.
for Anna.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And so she's coming back, giving that extra edge.
Yeah.
And then to replace Walter Trout, I was offered this year's 2021 traditional Grammy winner,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Rush.
Wow, that's incredible.
And so Bobby Rush will be closing the event.
And he's more kind of a rock blues.
No,
kind of, or,
Bobby is kind of your traditional Chitlin Circuit blues guy.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah.
And Bobby is Bobby. I mean, I don't think the dancers are coming. It was about 12 years ago
Yeah.
that he was here the last time. and he has this dance review
Wow.
that does a lot of booty shaking,
Okay.
to say the least. Again,
Yeah.
kind of your traditional Chitlin Circuit blues
All right,
stuff.
yeah.
But Bobby is Bobby, and he'll close out the festival.
That's fantastic.
And then Hirojo, that's starting that day,
Yeah.
is also our after jam host.
Yeah, and you're going to have an after jam after each of these.
Each of those.
So,
Actually,
yeah.
on Saturday, I didn't mention, but Nick Schneblin from, they originally came to fame by winning the IBC as the act Trampled Underfoot.
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember that. Yeah.
You know, Trampled Underfoot just did incredible stuff when they were here. His sister was here in 2019. You know, now they're all doing their separate things.
That's fantastic. The blues. We've been talking to Bruce Wheeler from the Blues Festival this weekend, Heritage Music Blues Festival. How do we get tickets?
Online at heritagemusicfest.com, you can get tickets and info. Anybody who's worried about, oh, how do I get my tickets before the fest? If you purchase a ticket now, it'll be waiting for you at will call.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is an outdoor event, even though we've got the variant spiking a little bit.
Right.
We will be providing masks if you need one.
Good.
If you're fully vaccinated, we don't ask you to wear a mask. We're not going to ask anyone to wear a mask.
Yeah.
But if you need one, it's there for your protection.
That's great. Bruce, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about this.
Thank you. You just made my stomach.
Me too. I'm going to be there all weekend. I may or may not see you, but I'll see Phyllis. I'll see
You'll see
Leyland,
me.
everybody.
You'll
you know.
see me
I'll
running
see you.
from
You may
the
not see me.
backstage to
Yeah,
the front
I know.
to the back.
You're a busy guy here this time. All right, we got to go. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week to waste another perfectly good hour with you right here at 2 o'clock on The Watchdog. See ya.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1.